You don't need to trust the story, but you also can't ignore it. Back in August 2011, a strange YouTube channel appeared out of nowhere. At first glance, it looked like a promotional page for a new aviation startup called Aviation, a company claiming to offer discounted deals in the flying industry. But what made it unusual wasn't just what it showed. It was what happened after. That same day, the channel uploaded 4 videos, and then went completely silent. No updates. No follow-ups. No explanation. Just one day of activity, and then nothing. And that's where the mystery begins. Because the real question is simple. What exactly was Aviation? The videos all followed a similar pattern. A woman stands in front of a plain white background, dressed in a flight attendant-style outfit, speaking directly to the camera. They introduce themselves as deal presenters and talk about a platform offering aviation-related discounts. Flight training, aircraft services, fuel, charters, everything aviation-related was supposedly included. But the problem was obvious from the start. No clear pricing, no real locations, no working proof of services, and extremely vague explanations. On the surface, it sounded like a travel marketplace. But when you looked closer, it didn't feel complete. It felt unfinished, or intentionally unclear. The deal presenters mystery. What really caught attention were the presenters themselves. Their outfits looked more like styled costumes than professional aviation uniforms. And the tone of the scripts often leaned toward playful, sometimes awkwardly suggestive language. Instead of focusing on aviation details, the videos often emphasized personality, charm, and engagement with viewers. This raised a lot of questions. Why would a serious aviation company market itself this way? And why were the presenters the main focus instead of the services? Some viewers believe this was simply an aggressive early 2010s marketing attempt, when edgy advertising was common. Others think there was something else going on entirely. A business that doesn't fully add up. The website connected to the channel claimed to work like a group buying system. If enough people purchased a deal, it would activate. If not, payments would be refunded. In theory, this explained the discounted aviation services idea. But in practice, things didn't look normal. Many listings appeared inconsistent or inactive, and several entries seemed oddly outdated or placeholder-like. Even more unusual, there were no verifiable customer reviews, no strong online footprint, and very little evidence that real transactions ever happened. It was like a marketplace that existed, but barely functioned. After disappearing for years, the domain resurfaced in 2019. But this time, everything had changed. The flashy content was gone. The videos were gone. The deal presenters were gone. What remained was a very basic, almost empty website with minimal information. And at the bottom, one unexpected detail appeared, a reference to a real-life pilot allegedly linked to the project. This added a new layer of confusion rather than clarity. Because instead of explaining the past, it raised even more questions. Connections and speculation. As researchers and internet investigators dug deeper, theories started to spread. Some believed Aviation was simply an abandoned startup that never took off. Others suggested it might have been an experimental marketing concept that got out of control. And a smaller group pushed darker interpretations, connecting unrelated names, emails, and online traces into a much larger narrative. However, most of these claims remain unverified and heavily debated. There is no confirmed evidence proving any of the extreme theories circulating online. What exists instead is fragments, videos, website archives, and scattered references that leave too many gaps to fill. The unanswered question. Even after years of speculation, one thing hasn't changed. There is still no clear answer to what Aviation actually was. Was it a failed aviation startup? A viral marketing experiment? Or something intentionally designed to confuse and attract attention? Or simply a case of early internet oddity that grew into a modern mystery? The truth is, we don't know. And maybe that's why the story still circulates today. Because some internet mysteries don't end with answers. They end with questions that never fully go away. Aviation remains one of those rare cases where the more you look, the less certain things become. And whether it was harmless marketing or something more complicated, it continues to sit in that strange space between reality and speculation. A forgotten channel. A vanished website. And a mystery the internet still hasn't fully explained.